It looks like Timothée Chalamet is turning heads again, quite literally this time, because his new buzzed haircut has set off a wave of speculation about Dune Part 3. The usually shaggy-haired actor is known for his trademark curls, so seeing him with a shaved head came as a surprise to many. Naturally, fans are wondering, did Chalamet go for this bold new look just for fun, or is it part of a transformation for his next turn as Paul Atreides? Since Dune 3 has been filming for a while now, the timing feels way too perfect to be a coincidence. Chalamet has been keeping the mystery alive by staying quiet about it. Whenever he's been spotted in public lately, he's made sure to wear a hat, almost like he's intentionally hiding something. But now that he's officially revealed the buzz cut in a new video for his Marty Supreme promotion, the secret's out. The video doesn't have anything to do with Dune 3, it's for a different project, but the timing has everyone talking. Because if you line up the dates, this haircut appeared right around when Dune 3 began production, and that can't just be a coincidence, right? Back in July, when production for Dune Part 3 kicked off, paparazzi photos of Chalamet and Kylie Jenner on vacation hinted that something had changed. His signature locks were gone, and fans immediately began connecting the dots. It wasn't a set photo or anything official, but it was enough to send speculation into overdrive. Now, with his shaved look finally confirmed, all signs seem to point to the haircut being part of his transformation for the movie. It's a big change for both Chalamet and his character, especially now that Paul Atreides is stepping into his new role as Emperor of the known universe. That's why the shaved head is getting so much attention. It feels symbolic. Audiences have grown used to seeing Paul with that long, flowing hair that gave him a kind of royal, mysterious energy. His father, Duke Leto, and Emperor Shaddam IV both had similar looks, which almost became a visual shorthand for leadership in the Dune universe. So, chopping it all off feels like a deliberate move, something that represents a change in Paul's mindset or the state of the galaxy itself. It's the kind of visual storytelling Denis Villeneuve loves to use, subtle but deeply meaningful. Of course, there's no mention of Paul being bald or buzzed in Dune Messiah, the book that Part 3 is adapting. Frank Herbert never described him that way. But Villeneuve has always been known for taking creative liberties that serve the emotional and visual impact of the story. So, the haircut could mean something new, something cinematic rather than textual. Some fans think it's a way to draw a visual connection between Paul and the Harkonnen family, who are known for their bald heads and cold demeanor. That theory makes sense, because Dune Part 2 ended with Paul discovering more about his Harkonnen heritage, and maybe this is Villeneuve's way of showing him embracing that side of himself. That idea fits perfectly with the way Paul's journey is evolving. His path has always been about balance between destiny and free will, love and duty, Atreides' honor and Harkonnen ruthlessness. Shaving his head might symbolize him crossing a line, becoming more hardened, more aware of what it means to rule. It could mark the moment when Paul starts to embody the power that once terrified him. Because although Paul has always been portrayed as a reluctant hero, Dune 3 might be where he fully accepts who he's become, both the savior and the ruler. On the other hand, the haircut might not be that deep. It could simply reflect the time jump that happens between Dune Part 2 and Part 3. Maybe it's a way to show that the galaxy has changed, that Paul has been through the Holy War, and that he's not the same person anymore. Either way, it's an exciting visual cue that adds another layer of intrigue to the movie. Fans will just have to wait and see whether it's explained directly in the story or left open to interpretation, which honestly makes it even more interesting. While Chalamet's new look is stealing headlines, it's not the only reason Dune 3 has everyone buzzing. The movie is one of the most highly anticipated films of 2026, and the cast is a huge part of that excitement. Alongside Chalamet, the film brings back Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Jason Momoa, and Léa Seydoux, and it introduces Anya Taylor-Joy as Alia Atreides. But what's really gotten longtime fans talking is the return of Rebecca Ferguson as Lady Jessica. Her involvement is not just exciting, it's also making people look back at Dune Prophecy, the spin-off series that premiered last year and quietly expanded the Dune universe in some fascinating ways. When Villeneuve's first Dune movie premiered in 2021, it completely blew audiences away with its breathtaking visuals and rich world-building. Then, Dune Part 2 somehow managed to top it, earning several Oscars and proving that this franchise is something special. So, it's no surprise that expectations for Part 3 are sky high. But what's interesting is that Dune Prophecy, which many might have skipped, has suddenly become essential viewing before the final chapter arrives. That's because Prophecy dives into the origins of the Bene Gesserit, the secretive sisterhood that plays a crucial role throughout the Dune saga, and that Lady Jessica is part of. The show takes place thousands of years before Paul's story, but it lays the groundwork for understanding the sisterhood's motives, traditions, and manipulative power. The main storyline follows Valia, played by Emily Watson, as she helps shape the Bene Gesserit's philosophy and political ambitions. It's a fascinating exploration of how the sisterhood became such a powerful force in the galaxy, and it gives important context for what's coming next. Now that Ferguson has confirmed her return for Dune Part 3, Prophecy feels even more relevant. She's already shared that her role in the movie won't be huge, but even a small appearance from Lady Jessica carries weight because of how deeply she's tied to the Bene Gesserit. Her story is about defiance. She broke the sisterhood's strict code by having a son instead of a daughter, and that one choice changed the fate of the universe. Watching Prophecy makes you realize how massive that rebellion really was and why it matters so much in the grand scheme of things. The Bene Gesserit are one of those groups that can't be neatly labeled as good or evil. They operate based on a complex belief system built around control, genetics, and influence. Their methods are often cold and calculated, but their goals are always long-term and strategic. The spin-off does a great job showing how they built that power and why they're so feared. So, when Lady Jessica reappears in Part 3, her decisions will probably carry the weight of that entire legacy. Understanding the sisterhood's origins makes her character feel even more layered and her actions more meaningful. What's especially intriguing is how the Bene Gesserit might still be pulling strings behind the scenes in Part 3. Even though Lady Jessica defied their plans, their influence over her and Paul is far from over. After everything that happened in Part 2, it's safe to assume that they're not done with him yet. The sisterhood has always seen Paul as a potential tool in their long-term schemes, but given how powerful he's become, controlling him might no longer be possible. That tension could make for some incredible drama in the next movie. Even if Lady Jessica's role is small, her connection to the Bene Gesserit ensures that their presence will still be felt throughout the story. In Frank Herbert's books, the sisterhood continues to play a major part, often working from the shadows to influence events. They might even end up serving as partial antagonists, trying to bring down Paul as his empire expands. It's the kind of complex, morally gray storytelling that makes Dune so compelling. And that's why watching Prophecy first could really enhance the experience. It gives you a deeper understanding of the forces quietly shaping the galaxy. So between Chalamet's new look, Ferguson's return, and the growing significance of Dune Prophecy, everything seems to be coming together beautifully for Dune Part 3. It's not just another sequel, it's the final chapter in a carefully crafted trilogy that's redefined what modern sci-fi can be. Denis Villeneuve has built a universe that feels both enormous and intimate, where every detail, from a haircut to a political alliance, means something. And now, with production in full swing and a release date set for December 18, 2026, fans are counting down the days until we return to Arrakis. Because even though there are still a bunch of mysteries left unanswered, like the true meaning behind Paul's shaved head or the Bene Gesserit's next move, there's no doubt that this movie is going to deliver something extraordinary. Dune Part 3 isn't just about closing a story, it's about showing how power, legacy, and identity collide in the most spectacular way possible. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.